Welcome to the Ready Rugby Coaching Manuals page. On this page you'll see below is a number of different manuals. Now what we've tried to do with the concept of manuals is we've tried to pull together a full season for you. Now the aim of that is works on a fortnightly basis. Now what that means is generally when you're talking about kids at a young age, if you did one training session on one skill, by the following week after the 1 hour session they would have forgotten it next week. So the aim is to try and repeat that for a fortnightly base. So what you'll find in our manuals is they're fortnightly based manuals, which means that 1 week they'll do a skill, they'll follow it up for the second week, and then the following week they'll start a whole new skill repetition. In the manuals themselves, they've gone through different stages. So we work on the welcome to the introduction to beginners manual, and this tries to cover all of the aspects like running, passing, defensive, working a defensive line. These areas that are really actually very hard to coach young kids. If we can get that across to them at a very young age, then they're going to do wonderfully. Secondly, on top of that, you move on from that, the progression from the beginners into introduction to contact. Now, this is one of the key areas of rugby. If a kid is very, very confident with contact, there are less chances he's going to get injured. So we want to try and get this confidence and this contact right from a very early start. Now, the manual was introduction to contact. The aim of that is to try and make it fun and enjoyable so that the actual young players want to do more tackling. Now, the actual idea of getting close and grabbing the arms around players, you'll see when you watch them play their rugby, they don't understand that at a young age, but the sooner we can get them to understand that and stop the grabbing on, because the chances are with a grab on they're going to hit a knee or something like that, and then they're going to end up getting hurt. So that's introduction to contact. Finally, the third manual that we have is introduction to breakdown a set piece. Now all of these manuals progress from one to the other, so there will be a number of games that will be taken from one year into the next year. Again, what we build on in this manual is the actual idea of getting the kids into the concept of when the ball goes to the ground, instead of all standing over there trying to pick the ball up, you want to try and clean out so that the ball's free, so whoever's at the back can actually pick it up and pass it along. The next stage is to work with the set piece, especially in attack, is for the players to understand when there's a line out or a scrum that they don't want to just pick it up from the back of the scrum and attempt to run around the whole of the players. The aim is to try and pass it out, the ball out the back line to a player who's free, and that player then has a shot at trying to score a try. If they start to understand these concepts, and we're starting from the basics of introduction or the beginner's stage, of the spatial awareness, understanding defensive patterns and lines, passing, then we're moving on into understanding how to tackle, how to clean out properly, and then on to the stage of how to attack in set pieces. I think by the time they hit the 10-year-old age, they should be ready to go on to the graded levels and further hopefully to a very, very respectable career in rugby. Otherwise, as long as they have fun, that's the main aim.